Hi, this is Thea. What I have for you today is a little different than last time. This is a door lock from a Honda, and I will be picking that with a Lishi tool. And here's what that looks like. It has the picking tips that are controlled by these arms, and those manipulate the wafers within the lock. This particular one has two banks of wafers. Honda apparently made a bit of an effort on security. And this is the tensioner. And behind the tensioner and those picking levers, there are markings that indicate which pin you're on, as well as the pin setting. So that if you want to or need to, you can cut a key from this after you pick it. And as you can see, this lock does work. If it's not in right, then no movement. Don't need the keys anymore. And so this just goes in like a key. Just got to get that dust cover aside. There we go. And then you tension it with the tensioning lever there, and then run through the wafers with the pick. And wafer locks are traditionally not very good, and that does hold true with the vast majority of cars, unfortunately. And I'm not getting anything off of that bank, so I'm going on to the other to see if I can get any feedback whatsoever. Oh, got good feedback on pin 2, wafer 2, as well as some movement on the core. 3 feels set. Got a little click out of 4, and it feels set. And then going on to the other bank of wafers. Not sure, it feels like it might be set. I'll leave it for now. And we've got it open. Now the interesting thing about this is once it's open, it actually has to be picked closed. Fortunately, that's not a grueling process. The spring tension is adequate tension for that, and it's usually a lot quicker. So I'll just run through these. There we go. And that is the lock picked. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gut it to show you exactly what is going on inside the lock, because these double-sided wafer locks are pretty interesting. And the first thing to do there is, let me zoom in a bit so you can see what's going on. All right, so there is a C-clip on the back that holds the lock together. Once that's removed, this actuator comes off, and then you got springs in there that are going to trip you up unless you remove them right away. And that's pretty easy. Just pop it loose and make sure that it doesn't clear that plastic thing, or it's going to be hell to get that back together. Let's get the key in there to help out a bit. There we go, now that's free. And then you can take that clear of the housing. And then these are all the wafers currently in the unlocked position. They interact with these two notches on either side for a total of 4. And from there, you kind of have to be careful with disassembly or you're going to have wafers all over the place. And there we go. The spring pushes those out. They are individually manipulated by these cuts in the sides. And once they are pushed into position by the cuts on the bottom relative to the assumption that the locking mechanism is the top, is what pulls those down out of the way. And I didn't feel any false gates or anything like that, but let's see what the rest of these look like. So we've got the top, that one. Use some pinning tweezers, it'll be easier. There we go, and we've got the springs. Here's one of the springs that pushes it against the locking mechanism. And as you can see, these don't have a lot of wafers in them, so it's relatively easy to pick these. Oops, there goes a spring. So the springs are very small in this particular lock. But that is the Honda picked with a Lishi. So if you like that video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any comments that you would like to leave, go ahead and leave those below, and I will be leaving a link in the description to the tools I used. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.